what is your perception towards life. And I strongly believe in that about your mindset, because life is beautiful. It is very simple. We make it very complicated, and then the small problems starts becoming bigger, and like it becomes complicated. So for me, I look at life from a very positive angle and a happy life. Like we were discussing about life school, so it's about mind, spirituality, everything. This is what I've been following for my journey from childhood till now. So I've born and brought up in Pune, basically sportsman from the childhood. I used to play basketball. Still, I play basketball. My first love is basketball. 2009, I got into enduro. There is an event called enduro which happens in Pune. That event is basically, people come together. It's a team of two boys and one girl. They come together and they achieve a target of there's cycling, there is trekking, there's river crossing. There are a lot of things which involves, and that's where I learn about how to push myself. Okay, so it is very important to understand your body. It is very important to understand your fitness level. How much can you push yourself? And to know that, you have to have a strong mind. So all those things I learned over the period. Like if you're talking about my journey, so running journey is not a very long journey. It just started in 2013 where I ran 15 kilometers, and it went up to 555 in 2019. So just a 6 years journey what I have. But the journey was beautiful. According to me, journey plays a very important role. How you look at your journey, whether you enjoy your journey. And all these things, if you look at 555 or 235 in Brazil, where the ascent was 28,000 feet, descent of 238,000, it was very, very tough. It was the second toughest run in the world. So all those things I could achieve it only because I had a positive mind. I had my approach to life was beautiful, and I could achieve that. So it started with 15-kilometer run. Then I did a full marathon. First, I did 20 kilometers, then I did 42 kilometers. So that's how the journey was there for my journey. We were talking about the mind. Today, I want to share the journey which I've been seeing it from 2008 and 2009. So that journey, all those activities I've been doing it, it's only because of a strong mind. And what I feel that, every time, whatever we do in life, we must do something where, the answer is what you get out of this is happiness. Usually, whatever we do, we have something to come back to, like either we're getting money or we're getting a medal or we're getting a certificate. But I feel, we must do something in life where the answer is happiness. What you get out of this is happiness. That's how I've been doing this special days, like celebrating these special days. I did Pune Goa cycling. That was to celebrate 11-11-11. In 2011, we had the special day of 11 November 2011. So 11-11-11. Well, there was no certificate, there was no medal, nothing. But I wanted to celebrate that day because everybody was saying it's a special day. The similar way, we had 12-12-12. So there, that's the time we walked from Pune to Pashgani, 100 kilometers. Then I celebrated 11-12-13. So all those things, that gave me good mental strength to push myself, to challenge myself all the time. And I was enjoying myself. Another thing I would say about mind is, when we spend time with ourselves, another thing I strongly believe in, one must spend time with himself to understand himself, to know his positive points, because every person has some strong point, some positive point. What he has to do is just explore himself and find that happiness where he gets actual happiness. And that will happen only when he spends time with himself. Okay, when the person spends time with himself, he's positive. Because very rarely, you say that I'm bad or I can't do this, I can't do that. The moment two people comes, there is a discussion, and we start talking about third person. Either we talk about politics, that's a usual small, and the life becomes very, very easy and comfortable because you're focusing only on one thing, and then you're disciplined automatically. So these things, what I've been following from the beginning, and it's given me results. I could achieve all my targets. Similar way, it's not that I've been successful all the time. This my failure of comrades. I would like to share this story very importantly because that has taught me a lot of things. When I went for comrades, the comrades is an event which happens in South Africa. It is 87 kilometers and 89 kilometers. It's a tough event. It's a very glamorous event. A lot of people, that's their dream to achieve that. You know, go to the finish line of that event. Similar way, I had done only one marathon and I registered for comrades. I did a little bit of practice. Not, I was not very serious about it, but I was okay. I went to South Africa. I was there at the finish start line. Everybody was happy. I was happy because I was part of the international race. But at the last cutoff, they have seven cutoffs to complete 87 kilometers. And it's a tough race because there are a lot of ups and downs, and you have to finish that race in that particular time. I finished my last cutoff and I had 40 minutes to cover 7 kilometers. Okay, it was very easy because 7 kilometers in 40 minutes, it's an easy task which I do it in Pune anytime. So I got into comfort zone. But when I was about 3 kilometers away from the finish line, a volunteer girl comes to me and she says, Ashish, you have 3 kilometers to go and you have only 15 minutes time. I said, this is ridiculous. How come only 15 minutes? I ran. I went full speed. I had the strategy. I had the strength in me. I went to the finish line. But, this Comrades has a finish in the stadium, which is a very, very stylish finish they have. There are plenty of people waiting for you. They're cheering you. And then you get into the stadium and then there's a finish. I got into the stadium. I could see the finish line, which was just 200 meters away. And there was a buzzer of 12 hours. Okay. So I was still okay. I said, this is fine. I'm a finisher. Because people talk to you, they call you, they give you sympathy messages. You're a finisher and you will come back, whatever. But believe me, guys, sympathy messages makes you weak. They're not good for you. I was there at the finish line. We all were tired. There were about 9 runners from Pune, and we all were together. They had finished the race. They had done 89 kilometers. I had done 89 kilometers. But their pain and my pain, there was a difference. But still, uh, we clicked pictures and all. But when I went to the room, I saw a lot of people following, my friends, family, because comrades, you can do live tracking. So people were following me. And I said, all my friends, they were cheering me like, 1 kilometer to go, 2 kilometers to go, Ashish, you can do it, whatever. Then I got angry with myself. I said, if people are cheering me, people are following me, then I can't be, just because my casual approach, if I'm not there at the finish line, this is not done. So we're spending money, we're spending time. People are looking at you, they're following you, and you're just not doing a right job. I was a bit angry with myself. That particular night at 2 a.m. in the morning, I changed my WhatsApp DP. The Comrades has a WhatsApp DP says, keep calm, 365 days to go. I changed that WhatsApp DP and I said, I have to be serious in whatever I do. I came back to Pune. I did my practice. I did all the things, whatever required. And next year, I was there at the finish line, almost about 40 to 50 minutes in hand. I waited at the finish line just to check, how the reaction is. Because it's a wonderful thing to see people on both the sides. Because I had seen both. So that taught me a lot of things. Usually, when we couldn't finish, we can't finish the race or whatever happens, it's very difficult to accept your defeat. And I did that. I accepted my defeat and I worked on to my weak points. I analyzed all the things what went wrong, what I had to do, and I came back. So that was a very important lesson I learned in that race. So this is what comrades had taught me, and from there my Ladakh journey started. Like I did my 42-kilometer run in 2015. That was my first marathon in Leh. There I saw people doing Khardungla challenge. People were crossing at 18,300 feet. And that was an unbelievable thing to see because, you're running at the world's highest motorable road. That was a fantastic feeling. Next year I went there. The beauty of Himalaya is it always calls you back. Once you go to Himalaya, the Himalaya will say, boss, you have to come back. And the same thing happened to me. And I kept going to Himalaya. I kept finding reasons to go back to Ladakh. Ladakh taught me a few more things. Ladakh is like the moment you get into Ladakh, you are at Khardungla Pass. You become a small soul. It tells you that you're a small soul. In Pune, Bombay, maybe you're a good guy, you're a champion. But the moment you are in Ladakh, you're a small soul. You have to get into the nature and be part of that passes. And there's a saying, they say that, you don't cross passes. They allow you to cross them. So that's a wonderful saying what the Ladakh people has. And that's true. That's really true. Because when I was doing my 555-kilometer race, there was one of the athlete who was doing 555 kilometers, a professional athlete. He took things for granted. And he took nature for granted, which was a very wrong thing what he did. And Urchap had to withdraw from the race at 37 kilometers because he had uh, oxygen issue and he had to withdraw from the race. So, nature, you can't take things for granted. You have to be into it and follow all the rules and regulations what nature has. That's was about triple three. Triple three, when I did, so basically, La Ultra is an event. Now I'll come back to the main topic of La Ultra where we're going to talk about. So La Ultra is the organization which organizes events of 111 kilometers, 222 kilometers, and 333 kilometers. They've been doing this for last 9 years. When I did 333 kilometers, that was the first time there were Indian participants. So far, only the Goras were participating. And that particular time, we had Indian participants. We were five of us who were there in that race. And it was a wonderful race. We have to cover three passes. See, the beauty of running in Ladakh is distance is the fifth aspect. The first aspect is the oxygen level. You have only 50% oxygen. Second difficulty level is the cutoffs. You have tedious cutoffs because you have to do certain kilometers in certain time. And those cutoffs, you can do it in India, like in Pune or in Mumbai at a sea level. You can push yourself. But in Ladakh, it doesn't happen that way. Because if you push yourself, it can be dangerous. It can be very vital. So you have to be careful with what you do. Third difficulty level is the temperature variations. You go from minus 10 degrees to go up to 35 degrees in the daytime. That's the third color. The fourth difficulty level is the climbs. You start at 10,000 feet, you go up to 18,000, you come down to 11, you go up to 17 and a half, come back to 11, and again 17 and a half, come back to 15. That was the finish for triple three. So, those altitudes tend to go up, come down. This way, you have to do it three times. For triple five, you have to do it for five times. So that's the fourth difficulty level. And then the distance comes in the picture. So that's the beauty of these Ladakh runs. Another beautiful thing which happens in Ladakh is, like for me, Comrades and Ladakh, if I compare, Comrades is an event where there are plenty of people. You have 25,000 people run, they are participants. So anytime you are there on the road, on the track, you have people with you. There are people on the road who are cheering you or shouting for you. They're there to cheer you. They give you plenty of support. They give you whatever you want to eat, that is there for you. That's Comrades. And there is glamour in India also. Similar way, if you look at Ladakh Marathon, La Ultra, triple one, triple two, triple three, whatever distance you say, there is nobody because you can't find people cheering you at 18,000 feet. So there is nobody to cheer you in Ladakh. So, you're just by yourself. It is like a meditation. You're just enjoying yourself. You're looking at those beautiful stars that usually these races happen at moonlight. And you're just by yourself looking at those stars. You see only white spots where people who are ahead of you, you look at them and then you're running at the highest motorable road. That's the beauty of running in Ladakh. So, coming back to triple three had a dramatic finish because of hallucination. The I will come back to the finish directly because that's a long story. The cutoff for triple three was 72 hours, and with my hallucination, I could finish that race in just 71 hours, 59 minutes, 29 seconds. So just 31 seconds prior. So it was the most dramatic finish for any ultra. It has never happened that way. My crew members had a tough time to push me because I was in a different mindset. It was emotional trauma for them. At the same time, they wanted me to be at the finish line. So there are a lot of things happening at the finish line for triple three, and I could finish just 31 seconds prior. With that, all those emotional background, I could register for triple five. They announced triple five only because they wanted to have an X edition. Since they were celebrating 10 years of their event, they announced 555. The difficulty level of 555 was it was happening for the first time. So even the organizers are not confirmed whether this is humanly possible because we had to spend almost from 13,000 feet to 17,000 to 15,000 back to 17,000 and to 13,000 again. So 100 kilometers in that particular altitude. So organizers were not sure whether this is humanly possible and they wanted to test that. And we were, how they wanted to test that, we were the culprit of that. And I said, I took the decision only because it was happening there. I had to attempt it because I had no other option, because I had no other race to, I had not registered for any race. If the event was happening and if I'm not there, not even attempting it, I would have been regretting about it. And I think regrets are not good in life because you can't do anything about your regrets. So I said, let's go and attempt it. Why not just be there? And anyway, running in Ladakh is not a competition. It is about just feeling of that attitude, and anyways, I enjoy that. That's why I was there for 555. And this time there was snowfall. The race started in rains. We were drenched when we came to North Kulu. North Kulu is a point which is at 16,000 feet. Then you go up to Khardungla Pass, which is 18,300, and you come down to 16,000, which is South Kulu. They call this as a death zone. This time it started raining at Nobra Valley, and when we went to North Kulu, it was minus 17 degrees, and there was snowfall. There was complete snowfall, and we were running almost snow till knee level. It was a tough task. But snowfall is good when you're on a honeymoon or when you're in a tourist or whatever. The snowfall is good. But you're running an ultra, it's really really tough because the snowfall, white snow, gets converted into black ice, and black ice is really really slippery. And I must have slept at least 35 to 40 times. But I was lucky that I didn't sleep in a bad home where there was no injury anywhere, and I could sustain myself. So from minus 17 degrees, I had to go up to 18,300 and then go down to 16, where my crew was supposed to meet me. And believe me, when they saw me and I saw them, it was like we were meeting after years together. It was that feel because they had seen that what weather it was, the cruel weather, and I could sustain that, and I was there at the that 16,000 feet point, and then the crew member were with me. In this particular race, the crew members plays a very important role, very very important role. So it's not only Ashish's event; it is crew's event also, and they have the role defined. Everybody plays their own role. We had a crew captain. So, the beauty of the crew was in this 555 kilometers, I never had any cramp, not a single cramp. I never had any blister. And we were singing and we were jumping and we went to the finish line. This time, see, my triple three cutoff was 31 seconds prior, and my triple five cutoff was almost 6 hours prior, where the final cutoff was 132 hours, and I finished it in 126 hours. So that whatever I learned from triple three, we analyzed everything and we used it in triple five, and that's how we could come to the triple five finish in a good manner. Now, last thing I'll say, the beauty of triple five, running an any ultra or doing extreme events. It was my dream, one person's dream of running 555 kilometers. I was very happy of doing that. I got hold of my crew members, which were my friends, and it became a dream of seven more people to come to the finish line of 555. When I started running, there were about 1,000 people, which I know directly, were in Pune. They were in different groups. They were following me, and it became a dream of 1,000 people. There was positivity, there was happiness those 5 days because everybody was looking forward for me to finish it. Every first day, second day, people were checking, "Arey Ashish kahan pahuncha hai? Ashish ne 200 kiya, Ashish ne 300 kiya." So dream of one person's, and if I can get happiness on 1,000 people's faces, what else you want in life? So that was the beauty of triple five.
Hmm.
That's the beauty of my journey from 2008 till triple five finish.
Wow. It sounds great. Ashish, your motto of life says, think insane, stay raw.
Right.
Can you just talk a little about that? What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah. See, think insane is basically my another way of saying is that we're not born just to pay light bill and telephone bill and yeah, GST of course. But believe me, this word is just, because I pay EMI. So just not we're not born just to pay this. Our life is much more to it. Every person should have a story. So we should have some story. We should do something in life where at the end of the day we should feel nice about ourselves. That is what think insane is. You do extreme things. I do a little more extreme things, but then that's the nasha because when you do something See, if you do 42, you want to do 55, you want to do 100, you want to do 150. That's the nasha. But I'm not saying that everybody has to run, but whatever your hobby is, your liking is, you must go for it. You must protect your dream. That is very, very important. And stay raw is, suppose like I listen to somebody or somebody listened to me and they said, Arey, I should also run. Running is good, and 12 triple two is fantastic option. So I feel when you feel like doing something, you must go for it. Like suppose tomorrow you say that I should run, you must get up and go for run. Not to waste time, not to waste money on buying things. Array, no, running you need dry fit t-shirts, you're running you need Nike shorts, running you need, Asics shoes or whatever. There are so many things. There are so many things are there. But according to me, when you like something, you must go for it instead of thinking about a lot of options. Go for it, do it for 10, 15 days. Continuity is very important. So then probably you realize whether I really like this. If I like it, then slowly you want to spend more time also and you want to spend money also. So according to me, you must go ahead and do whatever you like. Then take a call whether you want to go ahead in it or you do something else. So that is fair off.
Hmm.
I totally agree with you. A lot of us, whenever we're going to start something, the first thing is invest in the kit.
Yes,
Probably that is how a lot of us join the gym, and then we are not able to. A lot of us are not able to sustain beyond that.
that's
So,
right.
so if you do it
And
for 15 days, stay raw is yeah,
correct. And
brilliant
then
point.
what I feel is, another important lesson I've learned, or I will always vouch for this is like, we must, whenever there is, see, in life, there's always a situation where you need to choose between love and fear. And I tell people, boss, choose love. Don't choose fear. Because most of the time we choose fear. There are plenty of fear. Fear of losing it, fear of injury, fear of society. There are plenty of fear. But when you choose love, it's nice. It's because you choose love. So everything is nice about life. And it's a beautiful life when you choose love.
Uh, Ashish, can you quickly tell us what is your typical day like in the routine?
Routine life is fantastic. It's just another day because I change my routine only when I register for an event. Otherwise, I'm always doing some kind of exercises all the time because that's my lifestyle. So morning, I have to get up at 5 o'clock without any whether you have a target or you don't have a target. Get up early morning is habit, so it just happens. Um, I do different type of workouts. I do hill running also. Then there's leg strengthening. There is abs and core. There's depends on the workout what I have, the target what I have. On that basis, because Brazil when I registered, it was a trail run, so I had my practice sessions were different. So normal situation, if you ask me, it is daily 1.5 hour workout and your work and evening spend time with your friends. That's it. It's a normal routine life. But when I register for an event, depending on the event, my practice sessions changes and the diet also changes.
A lot of us have this resistance to waking up early. Do you have any trick which will help people to wake up early and do their routines? Do you follow anything, any specific
Oh
thing?
yes. No, I don't follow anything because I've been doing this for years. But I'll tell you, usually whenever there is an alarm, so like suppose if I'm Ashish or any other common man, usually what happens, two people gets up. Okay, at the alarm, there is positive Ashish and there is negative Ashish. Okay, the positive Ashish will say that, "अरे यार आज से चालू करना है, आज से करना ही है." Okay, he'll just say only one sentence.
Uh,
Ashish, what will say यार, आज नहीं यार, आज मेरा 8:30 बजे मीटिंग है. आज नहीं करते, कल से करते हैं, because आज मेरा ये भी है. So the moment you start thinking about it, you start finding excuses to go back to sleep. Okay, and then you find all your problems also because that even if you have a meeting at 8:30, you can manage it. You do feel that it is important one, and today is not the right day. You must do it tomorrow. So for that, I feel the moment there is an alarm, you get up immediately. Okay, the moment you put water on your face, you're fresh. Then you don't have any option. You have to get up, and even if you don't do any exercises, even you're there, you get up in the morning.
Beautiful.
And I think that's the another thing, Pankaj. I will say important thing is to push yourself. For that small thing, I will say, how do you push yourself? Okay, because that doesn't happen overnight. So you need to do some small activities to push yourself. So I will suggest, beginning of this, if you brush your teeth by right hand, maybe you keep a target brushing your teeth by left hand. Okay, sounds stupid and sounds very easy also. And you'll say, "Isme kya hai? Ye to I can do it anyhow." But you must do it. Okay. First 2 days, you are cautious about doing it. Third day, you are used to brush your teeth by right hand. You don't do it by right hand. So that's how probably you built your mental strength, or you start getting challenges for yourself. Maybe that will also help.
Wow,
Mm.
brilliant. Ashish, we share the same first love, basketball. So I've been playing basketball since my school days,
Ah,
and
wow, nice.
I was doing it until 4 years back regularly, 6 days a week until I got injured.
Okay.
Basketball is now. Why am I taking up this? Is
Hmm.
I hate running. Except
Okay.
for basketball, you go to and fro, and then you pause.
Right.
I can run that at pace, but I
Hmm.
need that pause. I cannot run continuously.
Okay.
So, how did you transition from the basketball to long distance running?
Yes, that's a great question because I learned a lot of things from basketball. Basketball is a fantastic game. A team game teaches you a lot of things in life. Everything about everything in life, whatever you do, whether you do sports or you do your business or your approach toward life, basketball teaches you everything. Not even basketball, a team game teaches you plenty of things. So basketball, I learned a lot. When I did my enduro, I mentioned about enduro. So enduro taught me how to push myself. Okay, basketball taught me how to get people together and achieve a goal. Enduro taught me how to push myself to my, how much can you push yourself, how your mind plays an important role. That's what enduro taught me. Now, from that enduro, when I started celebrating these special days, it taught me the mind. It's all about mind, how you look at things. Because, if somebody says, you run 555 kilometers, I will say, that's crazy. How can you do that? But our mind is very strong. Everybody can do wonder. Okay, everything is easy and everything is difficult. It's all about doing it. So that's what I learned from these small events, what I did, like 11, 11, 11, 12, 12, 12, to push myself, to go to extreme levels and, see what happens to you. How much can you push? And that's how I got into these events. Like when I did my 15-kilometer run, I was very happy to be part of that event because there were plenty of people around. There were pretty girls around because it was a DMCC, and there was medal for everybody. There was Zumba warm up session, and there was happiness everywhere. I said, "This is really nice. I must come back again." So I did 21 kilometers, and I was lucky to do 21 kilometers in Mumbai because Mumbai has a different approach. Mumbai has plenty of energy with that. And when I did 21, what atmosphere it was! It was thrilling, and so many people finishing the race. Then we waited to see people finishing 42 kilometers. Some people were struggling, some people were very fast. We saw all the Kenyans doing it at extremely fast pace. So it was simply amazing to see that. I said, this is really nice. Yeah, I must do something more into this. And that's why I got into this running zone. And I could achieve different targets, and it helped me to go back to. And then luckily I was in Ladakh, and I I will say that I fell in love with Ladakh, and I've been going there again and again. And Pankaj, I'll tell you one
Yeah.
more thing. From team game, I came to enduro was again team game. Then the individual running 21, 42, and this is about individual. But triple three, triple five again you can call this as a team game because it's not even only individual run. Again, it became a team game. So my running, my crew members, our dream, and people's dream. So team game, individual, and again got back to team game. So
Mm.
Yeah, you can certainly say that. So, if you want to achieve something big and you want to do it consistently, you'll need a strong team again.
yes, yes. And Pankaj, the team gets built up. I'll give you a small story on this. How the team is built up. Uh, my practice levels when I was practicing for triple three and triple five, I had to do different things. I had to be out of my comfort zone and do different things. So I used to go to Siagar. Like most of us are from Pune, so everybody knows where Siagar is. So I used to do Siagar. I used to do it in the afternoon time at 1:30 in the afternoon. So first time when I went there on Thursday afternoon, I parked my vehicle. I do it by tar road. Okay, I parked my vehicle. There's a watchman there at Greenwood Resort, which is at the base of Srinagar. He looked at me and he said, "तुम श्रीनगर आ रहे हो, अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. But if you come in the morning, you have good weather." Okay. I told him, I said, "I like it in the afternoon." He looked at me, he made weird faces and he said, "ये पागल आदमी है." Okay. I went up, I came back, I did my stretching, I came back to my home. The next Thursday, I went again. He looked at me, he made faces again. But I went next Thursday again. So slowly, he saw me and he said, "ये पागल है, but ये disciplined पागल." Okay. So that, but slowly started waving out to me. He started offering me something. I said, "आपको क्या चाहिए क्या? पानी चाहिए क्या?" At Shiv Jayanti, he offered me parking. I said, "नहीं सर के लिए parking रखो." So madness, if it is followed by discipline, it helps. It helps you to build the community. So that's the beauty of running.
Uh, Ashish, when you talked about Ladakh and you talked about oxygen deficiency, right?
Mhm.
So I've experienced this firsthand on my bike trip when we were crossing Taglangla.
Mhm.
My wife was with me and she was almost unconscious. So
Mhm.
you don't have that environment to train over here, right?
Right.
So that oxygen part in nowhere in the Maharashtra or you're going to experience that. So how do you train yourself to that to do doing a 42 in Ladakh Leh marathon is itself a challenge. So
Right.
doing a
Right.
333 or 555, how do you train yourself to do that?
Ah. So first of all, uh, you have to be mental to do mental things. Okay. So you have to be a different mindset. So I was ready with that. The mental, I'm there. So that I didn't have to get anything. That was first thing. Second thing about oxygen level, very difficult to do anything in Pune. Only two oxygen chambers. One started now. I don't know whether it's operating now after COVID, but one started in Palewadi recently. And there was one in ASPT, Army College. Both are not working. So you can't do anything in Pune right. Then, for me, the other option was to go 1 month prior. So I've been going from 42 to like 2014 onwards. I've been going there every year. So you have to follow all the rules and regulations. So usually what I do is I go 1 month prior to Ladakh, and I don't go directly into Ladakh. I go via Manali. Okay, so I get into Manali.
Gradually.
Manali to Leh, I do it by road. So by road in about 5 to 6 days. So what I do is we hire a vehicle and we do about 25, 30 odd kilometers every day. So you do walk around 25 kilometers, then get into the vehicle, stay at some camp location, and then move ahead. So by the time when I get into Leh, I'm fully acclimatized. So that's how I've been doing it for last 3 or 4 years, and that has helped me a lot. Nature, you have to follow all the rules and regulations. You have to drink plenty of water. You have to. There are certain rules and regulations which you need to do, and I follow that strictly. Whatever practice I have to do, I do it in Pune. The moment I'm in Ladakh, I don't really run as such. I just concentrate on acclimatization. And just before the race, I'm fully acclimatized. And so far, it is working very well for me.
Yeah, they have this saying on the route to Leh, right? Sher mat bano. So be within your limitations. So we heard that quite often on our road trip.
Yes, yes. Very,
Uh,
very important.
yeah. So we have a question over here. Naren is asking this. So how important is to have a good team for ultra specifically, or yeah, how does the team play a role in your success?
It's very, very important to have a perfect crew team because they drive you what you have to do. You know, the rule is in Pune, when we have a team, when we have a discussion, I have a right to say something. Like I can say, we will do this, we will do that, whatever. There's a discussion. The moment I'm in Ladakh, the race starts, I have no say. I can't do anything. The crew decides what I have to do, whether I have to stop, whether I have to run, whether it works that way. We have a crew captain which decides everything. They have a discussion and then tell me, Ashish, you have to do this. And that's how it works. Because if you at altitude, high altitude, as it is, you're tired, you're hallucinated. It's very difficult for you to think of anything which is good for you. But your crew members will take care of you and they know exactly what the athlete should be doing, and that really worked very well for triple three and triple five. Triple three five, of course, because we had good team where We made two teams. We had two cars, and they took care of everything. So having a good team is very, very important. I always say that I'm surrounded by good people in the world. I always say that, and that usually happens with me. Like again, I will come back to community building, because you're doing something good for yourself. Automatically, you have people who are there to support you for your good cause. So having a good team is very, very important.
Hmm. Thanks.
Uh, so doing all this is going to be quite expensive, right? So
Yes.
1 month prior to, if you go down and stay in Ladakh, and the entire crew and all, so how do you manage your expenses?
Oh, it's a very important question, Pankaj, because it is an expensive affair, because the registration fee itself is very expensive. Plus, the training is very expensive. The event is a different affair. Plus, you train for a year. Your nutrition, your practice sessions, you go to different places to run. So all those things adds up, where it becomes a huge amount. And unfortunately, distance running is not a very attractive sport for sponsors, because it doesn't have that glamour. So it's difficult for any athlete to get a sponsorship. For me, it was a tough task, both for triple three as well as for triple five. We did crowdfunding, and we could manage to get our funds. But at the same time, crowdfunding becomes very difficult, because you know that people are collecting money for you, and that can give you a pressure, because
Hmm.
you're doing something, you know that you're doing something good, but people are collecting money for you. So it becomes very difficult to come out of that zone, mind zone, that if something goes wrong, people are collecting money for you. So you have to work on that front also, where you keep your focus on. You have to learn how to be focused, even though people are collecting money for you. But I took it in this way, that people are collecting money for you because you're doing something. It is their dream also, because probably they're busy, they have a different goal, they have different dreams to achieve. They know that Ashish is doing it, so they want to be part of it. I learned that. So it was a very important thing for me to learn. It took time, but I learned that also. And that's a very important point. So finance is very important. We could manage it only because of crowdfunding.
Hmm.
Thank you for that, Ashish. Whenever you're doing something for over a period of time, usually you have low time. You've demotivated. So, did you experience anything of that kind where you're not motivated? You think about kya hai, roz ka ye, or giving up, and how do you come out of it?
You're talking about the practice session or at the event?
The practice sessions.
Uh, Practice sessions, usually I don't
First
feel
thing
that.
is the practice sessions, right? So, if you're going to practice.
So I guess Pankaj is
What?
speaking about the practice sessions because uh, practice sessions are over a period of time. No?
Right, right,
So the chance of getting demotivated or bugged or being a little low probably is a little higher. Uh,
right.
so how do you keep yourself motivated during these long practice sessions?
Actually, usually it doesn't happen to me that way.
Oh,
Uh,
beautiful.
I keep myself motivated because I keep meeting good people all the time.
Hmm.
And what happens is, I will say this, that you have to be a good listener, and that
Hmm.
also has Ladakh has taught. When
Hmm.
you are a good listener, you listen to people. Okay,
Hmm.
so you keep your arms open to accept everything all the time.
Hmm.
So I'm always ready to accept things, and
Hmm.
we do a lot of different activities where every time somebody is teaching you something. A small boy also, when you meet, is
Yeah.
trying to teach you something. So you have to keep your arms open to understand this. And that's how I always enjoy my practice sessions, because I keep meeting new people all the time and I listen to them,
Hmm.
listening and hearing the difference. So I
Hmm.
keep listening to them and I always try to take positive energy from them. That is very, very important. I've learned over the period. Very important. If you ask me during the event time, what I do is, at a particular time when you feel, you feel like quitting the race because you're
Hmm.
really tired. So at that particular time, I think about the finish line.
Hmm.
How I'm going to celebrate my finish,
Hmm.
and that gives me positivity, because the
Hmm.
moment you think about your finish, you are
Hmm.
very happy about. You think of different ways of celebrating it, and that
Hmm.
gives me happiness, and I come out of that point. And that point is very important because that's a small point which comes where you want to quit and you think positive things and you're out of it and then you're back on the zone again. So that's how I take care of it. So keeping good people with you and focus, life is good. And so you are always motivated.
Wow. 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 So anybody who takes up long distance running or desires to take up long distance running, Ashish, what would be your suggestion or guidance for them?
See, take up long distance running won't happen because somebody else is doing it. According to me, long distance running is a very spiritual thing, very individual thing, and that will happen only to that individual. So it is not that he will decide that I want to do long distance running. That will happen over the period.
Okay.
When he does 50 kilometers or more distance than a marathon, he will understand whether this is good for him or he is not enjoying it. Usually, it happens that this is too much of running, too much of time spending. He may not like it. So he doesn't have to listen to other people that I want to do long distance. Long distance running will happen automatically because it is an individual thing and it is a spirituality because you spend so much of time with yourself. You must enjoy that, and that will happen automatically. I think what I will say that like I was said it before also, start spending time with yourself. When you're alone, you do long distance running alone. Don't wait for anybody to join you. Do it individual run. Don't get into Garmin thing. Understand your breathing, understand your body, understand your body meaning. If there's a pain, you must know whether this is a pain or this is a soreness. How long can you stretch yourself? Do you have to visit a doctor immediately? So all those things will happen over the period when you understand your body. When you spend time with yourself, you understand your body very well. So this is a process. So this will happen to that individual automatically. There is no defined rule or regulation for long distance running. It will happen automatically.
Okay. Pankaj, would you like to ask something?
Yeah. Sorry, I missed the question. Whatever it is, just okay. I have a next question for you, Ashish. How does a person choose a fitness goal for himself or herself, depending on whatever? Just about being fitness, not even about in a competitive sport or anything. But how does someone choose a fitness goal?
See, according to me, fitness is feeling fitness. You have to feel the fitness. You have to feel good about whatever you do. Some people they're absolutely fit. Look at an athlete and he's like muscular and all. Say, wow, what an athlete! He's an athlete. Some people you meet them, you feel nice when you talk to them. You feel positive when you talk to them. They're always charged up. They're positive about everything. According to me, that is fitness. You are ready to do anything at any given time. Uh, it's a short distance run or long distance run. I'm a runner, so I talk about running. But fitness is about feeling fit. You have to feel fit. You have to feel the energy all the time. If you are getting tired, then that's not a right thing to do. This is about general fitness. If you get into competitive zone, then that fitness is different. But for a common man to be happy and healthy, he has to be feeling good is more important than fitness.
Absolutely.
Ashish, will you share with us a little about your family and what's your family's approach or thoughts about this passion of yours?
Okay. Now maybe if I say something just now, you all will say that 555 is very easy. It may happen that way. So it is nothing to hurt anybody. Okay. It's a joke. I'm a bachelor, so I live individually. So you got everything right. So no, so there are plus points and negative points also.
Yeah.
But my family is my brothers are very supportive. I have an elder brother and younger brother. They're always there for my activities. The moment I register for something or I decide to do something, they're with me all the time. So they don't say that don't do this or don't do that. They're with me. My mother, me and my mother, we stay together. My mother is always against whatever I do. So what I usually do is I don't tell her what I'm doing. So it's a good thing, good way of doing it. So she knows the distance only when I go to Leh. Okay, so it becomes very difficult for my brothers to handle it. So it becomes easy for me because she doesn't know what I'm doing. And when I get into Leh, she understands the distance, and then my brother has to face her. But then, she sees after run what happens, so she's seen that. So sometimes I ignore things, sometimes I don't tell people, and finally everybody's with me. So my sister-in-laws are always with me because my brothers, they also play a very important role because that's a family. So they also have to be supportive. So that becomes an important thing. So whenever I register something, everybody's with me. So that's the beauty of. I have no issues from my family background at all at any given time.
That's so sweet.
Really nice.
Ashish, when a person succeeds, sometimes we have seen life taking a different path. And very rarely do we see people succeeding, remaining humble, and continuing to aspire for bigger goals.
Right.
So, what makes you stay humble? And what would you suggest to people who are successful but who are now laid back and saying, let me enjoy the success that I've already created? So, there are two questions actually here.
Mm-hmm. See, how to remain humble is the events what I do. That made me humble all the time. Like, comrades, they have a saying, they have a punchline that, you run comrades and that makes you humble. That's what the saying is. Because you do hardcore activities and then, you can't say that, I have done this. Like I said it before also, Himalaya has taught me to be humble. Like, you can't say humble. Himalaya gets you back to reality. Because the moment you are in Pune and Mumbai, you are a champion. But you are in Leh, Khardungla will tell you, boss, you are not a champion. You have so many things to achieve so far. You remain there only. So that Ladakh, the mightiness of Ladakh gets you back to reality. Number one. When you're in Ladakh, you meet different type of people. Okay. I always say, again, I'll come back to the same point of listening and hearing. Because when you listen to people, you understand that whatever you've done is small thing. There's so many people, so many doing so many things in life. And that will come to know only when you listen to people. If you hear them, then probably you're not ready to listen to them. You are a champion. So you must listen to people so that you remain calm and composed and try to achieve different things and see what other people are doing. And that has always been the case with me because I always like to listen to people, talk to them, and understand their happiness, their dreams, their achievements. And it always happens because there's so many people doing so many things. Some people they talk about it, some people they don't talk about it. And you meet them, and you want to do better and better for yourself. I'll tell you a small thing. If we have time now, just quickly one story.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so when I did 0 to 18 cycling, okay, 0 to 18 is from sea level to highest motorable road.
Oh.
And it was a wonderful cycling because it started from Khambat, place in Gujarat, and we went up to Khardungla. We were very happy doing that because we saw rains, we saw climbs, we saw whatever, all the seasons we saw that. And we were very happy doing that. And proudly we were saying we did 0 to 18. In Ladakh, a friend of mine told me, what is sea level to highest point? I said, tell me what it is. Now, if you listen to this, sea level to highest point is there are two people from Israel. They went to Dead Sea. Okay, Dead Sea. They went down, down the sea. Okay.
Oh, achha.
Then they came up. They took their cycles. They went up to Everest base camp. Parked their cycles there. They went up the Everest. They climbed Everest. Okay. Touched the Everest point. Came back. Took their cycles and went back to Dead Sea. And then they went back again. So now you tell me, if you hear this, what you have to say first? Then you have so many things to achieve. But this is good. This is amazing. So you must listen to people to be calm and composed.
Amazing. So you answered both the questions in the single small story.
Yes,
That would be interesting. Those fellows must be interesting.
absolutely, absolutely.
What are the chances both of them are bachelors?
Not necessary. Not necessary. It'll help me if they're bachelors. So I'll look at it from that angle. Oh, but I'll tell you nothing about bachelorism. There are plus points and negative points.
Ah,
I will say that we must make the use of what we have.
yeah.
We Whatever we have. Like
Mm.
I'm a bachelor, so whatever resources I have, whatever plus points I have, I must
Mm.
make use of it. If I
Mm.
don't use this also, and if I don't do that also, then you're not living a life.
Yeah.
If I'm bachelor, I must make use of whatever because I'm losing out onto something. I'm losing out on family life. I'm losing on to a lot of other things, the parenting, a lot of
Mm.
things. But instead of crying on that, I'm bachelor, so I must make use most of whatever I have. That is what I strongly believe in. It's very important.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic. Pankaj, over to you.
Yeah, Ashish. So after 333, 555, now you talk about someone doing it from Dead Sea to Everest. What is the next insane thing that you are planning to do?
Oh, there are plenty of things on cards. After triple five, I did Brazil 135, and Brazil 135. Beauty of Brazil 135. It was very tough. I had to gain 28,000 feet as in, and then I had to come down 28,000 in 217 kilometers. Very tough event. But after triple five, nobody asked me how it was. They just look at the distance and they said, आशीष 217 ही था यार ये तो क्या आराम से हो जाए. I said, अरे यार, it was tough. But I did Everesting also. Now I'm looking at Badwater, which is if may happen because we don't know how the flight situations are. That is in July. That is the toughest foot race in the world. Which the difficulty level of that is you have to run in 50 degrees. So that's what I'm looking at. There's another target I'm looking at, which is not confirmed as yet, but maybe continuous runs I'm looking at. So that will be decided in time to come. But that also I'm looking at. So there are plenty of things to look forward to. There are plenty of things happening, and I'm looking forward for the challenges as it comes.
Ashish, a lot of people have a standard question about importance of nutrition and supplements.
Mhm.
What's your take on to it?
My take is very simple. I say maa ke haath ki roti, very important. Because I'm bachelor, so I say maa ke haath ki roti. Probably married people will say that bibi ki haath ki roti. So whatever. The ghar ka khana is very important. I'm a Maharashtrian, so Marathi food, rather all our food, like Indian food, is filled with everything. You have carbs, you have protein, you have everything. So right time is very important. You have your breakfast on time, you have lunch on time, dinner on time. That's very very important on a regular scenario.
Mm.
But if you register for something which is weird, then accordingly the food habits changes, the diet changes. Maybe I get onto little of diet, then paya soup, more of proteins than chicken twice a week. So according to my event, the diet changes. But a normal scenario, I will say that ghar ka khana is very very important, and you just add a few things to it as per your whatever the event is.
Ashish, I'm facing this network. Yeah, it was so wonderful listening to you, Ashish. You're so humble, and that is one of the greatest things. Out of what I picked up from the session is do something in life which gives you happiness. So for everything that I'm doing, happiness has to be the goal. And the another thing is to spend time with oneself to explore and find our own potential. I think these two things are going to stay with me. Thank you for being on the show, and it was really nice having you. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening to me, listening to my whitest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashish. Thanks a ton.
Thank you. Thank you, Naren. Bye bye.